Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here, and we get 12 listings, so 9 from the Toronto system, 3 from the Oakville system, and nothing can hold us back. So we've got a new HD camera on the new computer, and if you read the email yesterday, you probably saw that we were actually, someone took a bunch of stuff from the office, broke in, and so on. And so interesting psychology that happens after that, and if you've ever been robbed, you kind of know as your worldview kind of changes, at least temporarily. So I'm excited to bring this to you. I don't think anything's going to hold us back, and we're going to continue to educate you about Milton real estate. And speaking of which, we've got the Milton buyer class coming up next Thursday. So if you want to sign up for that, the link is just over there, and it's been filling up pretty quick. So I guess there's good demand to come. We've had over 500 people come. A lot of information about the steps and costs involved. We show you real life home inspection slides. We compare new versus resale. We show you a really easy way to get up to $10,000 or more if you're buying your first home. And so there's actually 3 different incentives for first-time buyers, and we talk about all of them. Talk about the different kinds of insurance, everything that you really need to know. We've really packed it into about 2 hours. Doesn't cost you anything, but you got to bring a food bank donation because there's people that really need that food. Okay, so Hampshire Way starts us off, 336. 3-story, no backyard, good location close to the highway, so it's nice and close to Main Street and James Snow. 1125 square feet, some decent upgrades. It's probably priced pretty fair. Most of these tend to list up around the 350s and sit around for a bit. I'll be honest, most of the time when I search the 165 Hampshire, I tend to skip over them. I think the condo fees attached to them. I would personally just go for Mattamy Village town. I find they're a little bit better, but this one's good. It faces 2-story homes on the south side of that development, which I personally like. I think it just looks a little less cluttered. Short read is 369. Historically speaking, it's priced high, but there's also virtually nothing for sale right now. There's only 1 full bathroom upstairs. It's 1130 square feet. That being said, I could certainly see them getting this price because, again, the lack of supply, it's becoming almost impossible to buy a freehold townhouse with a yard for less than probably 365, 370. Now, Finney Terrace is 373, and so it's, I think it's called the Oak Grove or the Sumac Corner. Main floor office, then you go upstairs and you've got your family room, kitchen, and then the kitchen actually overlooks the dining room. There's your family room just off to the side. Looks like an aftermarket countertop. Don't know if I love the way the countertop and the backsplash work together. And then you've got 3 bedrooms upstairs and 1 full bathroom on the 3rd floor. These have sold up in this range. Usually they're not facing train tracks like that one. Usually they're facing a park or something and tending to be a little bit more upgraded. I know on paper that one's upgraded, but I just found that the ones that have sold for the 370 plus have been a little bit more polished. Hem Street is 559. It's an Opal model. It's about 2,400 square feet. Beaver Hall made it. And so yeah, I don't know. I just find the finishes, I could see a lot of people coming into this one and saying, look, I got to rip most of this stuff out. And then, I don't know. For me personally, this is a personal opinion. It doesn't have the greatest curb appeal with the siding and the wood and everything else here. But 45 by 85 foot lot is good. The size for 559 is not bad at all. Wetlaw for 629, so we're looking at a home that's not sure the size of this one. It's a nicely finished Heathwood home. Looks like it's got a bit of a loft upstairs, and there's no fence, right? So you look, it's got central air. There's no fence. I think there were a few window coverings here. 629 sort of seems like the going rate, although they seem a little bit high. This one on Hearst is a Bellingham. It's about 2,500 square feet. I haven't seen a Bellingham model sell in a long time, and so this was I believe it was the entry point model for 56-foot properties, so they don't even make them anymore at 56 feet. You've got some nice lush vegetation there in the backyard. You've got a good location. It's right basically smack in between Hawthorne Village Public School and the library, so if you've got kids, this home is very, very nice. The kitchen, you can always tell the Bellingham by this little sort of pillar design, and I assume that that's structural. I probably wouldn't be ripping that out. But it's a good floor plan. It's got like the upstairs sort of opens up nicely. The laundry room looks like it's been done well. And it's 4 bedrooms. It's got no finished basement here, but 9-foot ceilings on the main floor. That looks pretty decent. It looks like it's the right price. Costigan 634.9. It looks like it's not sure the size of this one, but it looks like it's probably in the 2,500 square feet plus a finished basement. Pictures are a little dark. It's hard to see. The in-ground pool adds virtually no value, and in fact, for some people, they don't even want it there. But at least you've got some grass here, so they've done a good job of integrating a bit of an outdoor space with the pool, with some grass there. It's a nice balance in the yard, and it looks like a pretty decent property for the price. Applebee's at $1 million, and we're talking about 3 acres. A little bit woodsy in here. We talked about that last week about how it can get a little buggy if there's too many trees there. Clawfoot tub's nice, but if you look at something like this and then you go over and see ours on Bell School Line, if you go to bellschoolline.com, no comparison, right? And even the views and everything else, and Bell School Line's a little bit more expensive, but I think if you're up in the $1 million range, 100,000 here or there generally is not going to make or break your life. And then this one here on Darkwood, probably one of the finest homes we've ever seen on Milton Daily Homes. 100-acre property, massive piece of land. You've got a professionally redone. It's an old barn and farmhouse that they redid. Unbelievable finishes in here. I mean, even the gym is just something like, wow, like look at how amazing that is. I believe this was on the United Way tour of homes a couple of years ago. And I remember seeing it in person and thought, wow, this is a very impressive house. 4.99 is not a price range where most people can stretch to, but if you can, boy, I can't think of a much better home than that. So the next one up is we're going over to the Oakville Milton board. We've got Woodlawn Crescent. I believe it's a double car garage. It might be close to a double. And so inside they've done some good finishes. This floor, I've seen it before. I believe it's a vinyl, not a laminate floor, but I'll tell you the vinyl floors have really come a long way. And I've seen actually some of these are even better than the vinyl because they don't have that springiness to them. They actually stick right to the subfloor. Crown moldings, it looks like they've done some work in the kitchen here. Double garage, and for the price at $479, you're not getting much more than this. That's a guaranteed stub your toe place right here. Guaranteed. They must have modified this in some way. There must have been a shower or a tub here at some point, and they put the soaker tub in. That area here, that's going to be really tight going to see this one in person. But like I was saying before, finished basement, even if you do a bit of updating there, you've got a deck and you've got a nice sized piece of property. It doesn't get much better than that for about $480 in the old part of Milton. We've got Moorlands here, and so this looks like a Charles model, so it'd be about 2,200 square feet. Possibly opened up. It looks like they might have taken some walls out here. And so you've got your granite counters, your updated kitchen here. It looks pretty good. There's no complaints. Finished basement, and you've got about a 55 by 118 property. So we'll see what happens with this one. I definitely, it's on the good part of Moorlands. That's an accurate map description right there. So it's on the inside. It's not backyard to dairy or anything like that. Well, we'll see what happens. There's not a whole lot for sale right now. There's a good sale recently on Clemens that I think should help most of Old Milton. And then we've got Meadowland, which is just off of Wheelahan. You can see how close it is to the 401 and the on and off ramp, or actually the on ramp to get onto the 401. It's on about just over an acre. It's 3,000 square feet. It's been finished pretty well. They've done some recent updates. The thing about these homes is that most of the time in the Campbellville, the estate properties, depending on how well they're finished, they range anywhere from 800 to $1 million. I mean, the really, really amazing ones might go over $1 million. There was I look at deers and say, I don't want those guys on my property, but maybe that's just me. The thing about, yeah, so these properties, they get to the point where they start to need roofs and windows and all the rest of it. So these guys have done some work here, but I think that, asking closer to the $1 million, they've done some improvements, but it still has some elements of the original structure there. No finished basement. Typically, we're talking about finished basement when we're seeing close to that mark. So seems a little bit high. The neighborhood itself didn't have a great track record, and recently there was one or two sales that we're almost like for the first sales, I think, in like 3 or 4 years. So nothing wrong with the neighborhood. Good access to the highway, obviously, as you can see. But sometimes that can be the Achilles heel too, is that you're actually too close to the highway. You don't get that country peaceful where you're not hearing any noise or anything. So estate subdivision, and like I said, seems a little bit high to me. So that's the list for today. If you have any questions, give us a call and we'd be glad to help you. And we're back and nothing can hold us back today. Okay, take care. Bye.